Bullheaded is with me here. I believe to understand immigration properly, it takes spiritual biblical understanding, good and evil.
Here you go with this Christian stuff. We're all immigrants. Plus those people stole this land and stole people from another land to sell over here. That's right.
Christians are told to live love, which is the highest nobility, which is why other religions can exist in this country.
Professed Christians are the one who cause slavery and stuff. You know that.
You are a Jesus Hebrew Israelite, aren't you?
I ain't no Hebrew Israelite. I'm an original Canaanite. We built that land in Jerusalem. Yes, we did. We built that land that was stolen from us by the Hebrews. I don't know about this religious crap, but I got my own Bible so I can try to keep up with the lies you Christians always talking about. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I understand, bullheaded, but you can't ultimately look at man and determine the will of God or truth. Evil has got to hide truth to survive. It is a parasite. Wicked rushes to hide the good of man. Now let's look at Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doeth never go forth. For the wicked doeth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. See, man can't make the right judgment because evil has covered the good. So the judgment is wrong on a certain situation. See, the pilgrims had the right idea of leaving the land of their birth to find a place they can freely worship, meaning no harm to the indigenous people. But evil came with them, then developed greed as more and more people came to this land.
What does that have to do with the immigration today? But they still allowed it to happen, they still allowed it to happen, no matter what you say. They still allowed it to happen,
Well, this is an established country. So when we are discussing immigration, people will bring all these other issues and talk about this nation being a nation of immigrants. So I need to handle some of this. They'll say this land belongs to the indigenous people. Therefore, come one, come all. How far does anyone want to go back? There has been rumors and rumors of wars and takeovers all the way back to Noah. Wars and takeovers among the indigenous people, among the Africans and tribes, land grabs. So who does the land originally belong to? So what kind of country do you want? Do you believe in capitalism with very little social programs, the Constitution?
Yeah, I agree with a little of that, just a little bit.
Listen, this is hard for me to communicate. American immigration is not in the Bible per se, but you can see the practical application and learning from the Old Testament believers trying to keep their land and beliefs. God told Israel to love the stranger as their own if. Let's look at Exodus chapter 12, verse 48. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover to the Lord, see, it says, let's read that again. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover to the Lord, let all his males be circumcised. See, there's a condition. And then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land. For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof, shouldn't eat with them, shouldn't be in that land. They had to assimilate. How would Israel know if they would keep the Passover or not? They had to be vetted. America, do we believe in the way of our culture, Constitution, and language? It doesn't mean immigrants have to dump their culture, but they cannot usurp our culture. I like learning about other cultures and their foods. But I don't want socialism, and I don't want kings and queens. How can you vet illegal immigrants? What is their stance?
I like that Mexican food, Chinese food and Italian food. Hell, I just like food. But hey, on my phone, I want to push 1 English, 2 Spanish, and 3 Swahili. Swahili for Swahili. Speak some Swahili around here.
What happened when Israel did not vet immigrants? They would keep those exotic women who introduced their children to idol gods and took their money with faces of kings that prodded Israel to want kings, and poisoned animals where men were with strange flesh that brought sicknesses, who mingled with Israel as servants, introducing ideals of idol gods. Let's look at Numbers. Numbers chapter 33, verse 55. What about them? But if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which you let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein you dwell. The illegal immigrants to America has a net expense of $70 billion. Some of the first American businessmen that hired illegal immigrants have gotten rich off this new slavery at the cost of many middle-class income jobs. I've heard this automation argument concerning jobs. This just means there are less jobs for blue-collar workers to share. To try and help some unfortunate Americans, we have social programs. For Americans, I thought. I thought minority-owned businesses mandate was sort of a reparation for the indigenous people and slavery. Unfair or outdated social programs. Sometimes social programs get confusing and unfair when people are capable. When you try to end some of these unfair social programs, administrative jobs are lost and political power is lost, so that it would be a real fight when trying to get rid of these unfair programs to save taxpayers. Sanctuary cities. If they want it, let it be locally funded. Is education failing our youth when it comes to political science and how this country grew? Capitalism versus socialism in history? We were friends with this family. The husband, American born and atheist. His wife was from Germany, a very nice, kind woman. We loved them. But we would get into debates about social or government health care. She talked about how rich this country was and how it could pay for government health care. She raised her kids to believe this was the right way to treat people. Her daughter became a school teacher. What do you think she teaches her students? This idea grows in the culture. Of course we would allow this woman into our country, but we, the American people, with our kids, must understand who we are and why. I believe we need to fight the corruption in capitalism, drain the swamp. My Christian beliefs about America. Remember, evil surrounds good. It hides it so that man cannot see to judge correctly. To know God, you have to know His Word. I believe that God preserved this land to teach or move the Word of God around the world, away from the controlling government run false religions and British rule. See, you have the freedom of religion. You can check them all out here. The Declaration of Independence has even given logical guidelines to this. Midway through the first part of the preamble says, the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled. See, God entitled nature. He invented nature. The laws of nature, even if you don't believe in God. The country is breaking down even in this area.
You say against the law of nature. I've been kind of wondering about that. I don't know. I got a dog face. I can kind of sniff around and tell difference between a boy and a girl. I think. I don't know. I think I seen some animals seem like they got a little more sense. I don't know. Laws of nature.
So the indigenous people's language was not developed enough to teach, read, and write the Word of God, or spread the word. Both good and evil seek men with prowess. To slow down Christian belief is to get rid of America. Remember, in God we trust. What kind of a country do you want? Then you vet immigrants according to that.
I don't know. You might be right on some of this immigration stuff. I don't know. I think they prefer a few different people besides just dog-faced people. They don't like us dog-faced people. I don't know. But sometimes it just seems like, their preferential treatment, to some of these groups, these immigrations. I don't know. I might have to agree with you on some of this stuff. Just a little bit. Not much. Because I think I want to be loving. Sometimes.
We have an established country with a constitution. So, make America great again means get back to the basics and do it right this time. A certain disciple.